Well, let's return to that breaking news that Sky News understands the rap duo Bob Vylan has been dropped by the United Talent Agency. It comes after the BBC expressed regret at not pulling the live stream of the rap duo's performance during the Glastonbury Festival. The corporation said anti-Semitic sentiments expressed by the group were utterly unacceptable.
Did you see that? Did you?
Good evening, people. I believe all systems are go, all lights are green. Let's brew this thing. Alright, welcome to the stream. This is the Brews at 10 on my left eye. I am your host, Lefty. A very warm welcome to everybody this very warm evening. Oh, the air is thick this eve, is it not, people? Well, it certainly is here in Manchester. So I hope you're all well as we get into another week. Let me know how you're doing in the chat. Come and join us if you're not subscribed. Please hit subscribe and then you can join everybody else in the chat. We've got Floor Snake, who's in first, and Morbius in already, nice and early. Great to see you. Great to see the watermelons very early as well. It's still 27 down in London. Well, we'll be getting on to climate change later. Shock horror. Yeah, another heat wave be upon us. Anyway, we'll dwell on the weather later. I've had to close the window because of nearby traffic noise and all that coming through. So I hope there's enough oxygen in here for me to get through the stream. You might have to excuse me once or twice just to top up a cold beverage. I do have a brew as well, mixing it up this evening. Well, thank you very much for the compliments on the accents, Morbius. I see, well, I'm assuming that we still have the same issue with usernames that we did on yesterday's Sunday live stream. If I'm not mistaken, it's showing people's email addresses or segments of. which appears to be just here because we raided into Kev yesterday, didn't we? For those of you who were watching. And it was back to normal. I noticed that those of you who came over on the raid, your names went back as they were before. Well, I'll get the primates on it. They've had it easy lately. Things have been going suspiciously too well. They have resolved the microphone issue. And a few other spanners in the works, so... Nicola Curtin's with us as well, and... just remind me from yesterday, who's Big Vicar? It's Doc. I believe it's Doc. Doc Davies. I think that's right. Or is it Graham? It's already getting confusing. Well, again, I'll try and keep up as best as I can. I have to crack on with a few things. First of all, there's a poll. There's a poll on tonight's stream. You might have noticed when you came in. YouTube generally goes, hey, this stream's got a poll. So it's pretty straightforward, really. I wasn't up all night thinking about the question for this one. Will Rachel Reeves still be the Chancellor of the Exchequer at the next general election? So if you agree, it's aye or nay. If you disagree, and the third option, if you think that Rachel Reeves will be out in the next 12 months, an additional nay option is available. So that could either be by reshuffle or stepping down or being sacked. It still counts if she gets abducted by aliens or if she elopes to, well, I don't know, let's think of somewhere nice. St. Helena. And it's currently a draw. 50-50 between nay. Well, the nays will have it, just two variations thereof, so. I was going to say by the end of the year, but I thought I'd stick to 12 months. Yes, it is, Doc. Doc, great to see you. Right, so what's coming up, people? Obviously there's been a pretty hyperbolic knee-jerk reaction to Bob Vylan and Kneecap. Kneecap knee-jerk, there's some sort of headline or sub-headline in that one. But yeah, it's completely over the top, it's completely farcical. I'll be going into that. There's a police investigation. Other things I mentioned on yesterday's stream about Bob Vylan having his profile deleted on ticket websites. I think the lines are getting pretty firmly drawn in the sand at this point. And it's gone as far up as the House of Commons. Lisa Nandy mentioned this earlier today. I'm going to take a look at that. And also the Israeli embassy have thrown their 2 cents in. There's obviously a lot of lies, propaganda thrown in with this. It's obviously this is Israel that we're talking about. And I guess I went through the original chant enough on yesterday's live stream. I won't go over all that again. So yeah, check that out if you didn't see it yesterday. If you want my thoughts, obviously, I think this criticism against it is all a load of bollocks. Yeah, Nicola, it's toys out the pram time. Proper temper tantrum coming from politicians, the mainstream media, people on the right. Sure, well, I've been fortunate enough to avoid what some of the regular voices, like, you know, the Liam Foxes and whomever. Who else? What's he called now? He's a councillor now, and he's from the northeast, and he's a prat, and his name is Darren Grimes. That's the name. Yeah, those kind of people, fortunately, if they have had anything to say, I've not seen it. Nina Sadie, welcome. Well, I was just explaining this. Apparently, started happening yesterday. It's showing, instead of your usernames, it's actually the names and numbers in your email addresses, which is a YouTube thing. It's completely out of my hands. I'm not sure if they've got some sort of GDPR issue on their hands with this, to be honest. That's not for me to worry about. Well, speaking of which, bit of good news, quick channel update. All of the reviews, all of the live streams that were under review have now been reviewed and have all passed, bar one, which was a couple of weeks ago, and that was yeah, I think that was the one where I repeatedly mentioned the word that rhymes with Jeremy Hunt. However, on some of the recent live, I've had to make some small concessions, that is, muting copyrighted songs, etc. Also, I'm not going to be showing any more of the Hitler Rants parodies because I've had to trim out segments with that in because of copyright infringement from obviously the original film Downfall, or Der Untergang if you're a German viewer. I hope I got that right. I think I got that right. Yeah, alles klar. Good. Now, I don't want to jinx myself, because they're usually pretty quick to get onto stuff like this. The Israeli embassy, I did mention, have put out a statement. That's what I'm going to be going into. Fortunately, we've not seen Zippy Potterbelly, the Israeli ambassador, on any of the mainstream channels yet, that I know of. And the same for David Mensa and what's the other fellow called? Elon Levy. That's Elon with a Y, isn't it? Not like Elon, not like Musk. Who's come back out actually and thrown a bit more shade at Trump after a quiet period. Just general, he runs the government like crap stuff, nothing juicy, nothing seriously revelatory. Because last time he was, oh, you know, he's in the Epstein files. It's like, oh yeah, tell me something we don't know. So what else is coming up? Yeah, just a bit more about the welfare reform vote that's coming up later in the week. There was obviously a whiff of rebellion in the air. At the last count, I think it was like 122 MPs that were going to, from Labour, that were going to vote against the government. And so the question is, has Liz Kendall managed to appease the rebels? I'll get into that. Plus the latest from Gaza as well. Should point out that in all the furore over Bob Vylan, he spent the day sharing videos of the carnage that's happening in Gaza, knowing that he's been given a higher platform now because of all this, and so using that to good effect. Instead of, you know, where there's usually some issue with a celebrity, they'll do a series of videos of themselves explaining whatever, you know, the drama is, whatever controversy it might be. But instead of that, Bobby Vylan sticking with the issue. And I'll be explaining a bit more about what's been happening in the last 48 hours in Gaza. Oh. It's going to be one of those streams, people. The mic goes off for a bit. Is it a tech issue? Or has your host fainted? Let's play that game. I've not created a scoreboard for it. Staying hydrated. The power of the brew. Speaking of which, it's the start of a new week. So I've got the Brews at 10, the album, volume 12 coming up, the newest edition, in just a moment, after I give a hearty thank you to all of the members on the channel. And I've updated the list. This is the very latest, freshest roster of marvellous members. Thank you very much, everybody. You can get on this list, an exclusive list. This is the list to be on, people. This is where the left's at, right here. It's just 99 pence. Did he say just 99 pence? Yes, he did say just 99 pence. Well, what's in it for me? Well, I'll tell you what's in it for you. There's awesome perks. Early viewings, exclusive content. If you want to know more about some of my recent protests that I've been involved with and things, there's some members only videos there, other exclusive content. Check it out. You get static emojis as well, which marvellous members in the chat here are displaying. So yes, just 99 pence. Thank you very much, all of the members. Thanks again to those of you who've renewed recently and gifted memberships to others. And let's let the good people be seen. There we go. And thanks to renewals and gifted memberships, we're currently on 107, which is awesome. I guess I'll leave that up there. Nicola Curtin, Charter of Demands for what an overwhelming majority of the public want. I guess you could integrate that perhaps into some sort of People's Assembly or Citizens' Assembly, something I do mention quite a lot. I was, until quite recently, involved with organising those myself. With the Humanity Project, so you can check that out. There's lots of other organisations who really think that a true sort of grassroots democracy has to be created to replace this dinosaur crap, if you, for want of a better summarisation. But you know what I'm getting at. Because to call this any kind of democracy is purely an insult. You don't have to be an expert on politics or sociology or anything to know that. You just have to not feel represented, which is what the majority of people rightly feel at the moment. Obviously, unless you're a billionaire or a member of the upper class. So yes, I'm all for those kind of ideas. And the thing with these assemblies, they can be over local issues, over anything all the way up to national level issues. But we might get caught in a tangent. So this is the latest from the Brews at 10, the album. This is volume 12. Please add your suggestions in the chat throughout the stream for tea-based songs and artists, or in the comments if you're watching back later on, if you like a hot tasty beverage with your music, or the other way around.
Do you like a hot tasty beverage with your music? Then my left eye has got a treat for your ears. The Brews at 10, the album, all your favourite beverage-based hits from the 1960s to now, all in one place.
Volume 12 is now available, featuring Brew You Love Me, The Contours, Copper Don't Preach, Madonna, Brew Brew Cat Chew, Alvin Stardust, Perfect Day, Brew Reed, No More I Love Brews, Annie Lennox, plus many more. Order now.
That's volume 12 of Brews at 10, the album there. Let's just have another... Oh, wait a second. Let's just have another quick look back at the editions on this new volume. So it's Brew You Love Me by The Contours, Copper Don't Preach, Madonna, Brew Brew Kachu by Alvin Stardust, Perfect Day by Brew Reed, and No More I Love Brews by Annie Lennox. Thank you very much for your suggestions. Keep them coming in, people. Brewdism, it's the future. I've tasted it and it tastes like tea. What's the latest on the poll? Let's take a look. Currently leaning towards the nays, and that is just an outright no, not the within 12 months option. Come back to that a bit later on. Now let's get into clips and articles and things, people. That's my expression of the evening. Sweating like Matt Hancock at a fucking public inquiry. Right. Where we're going first? Bob Vylan and Kneecap. Just do a quick whiz through the article first. I can't believe this, but I can really, you know. They're overreaching, aren't they? It's very telling. This is what lobbies do. It's happening right before your eyes, people. I'll just turn the background music down a bit. I feel like I'm shouting over the top of it. So, criminal investigation. So just in case you weren't aware, during Bob Vylan's set, he led a chant that said, "Death, death to the IDF." During Kneecap's set, they said, and I hope you're sitting down, people, for goodness me, they said, "Fuck Keir Starmer." The police have nothing better to do, of course. They shouldn't be investigating billionaires, tax dodgers, people who are on certain dead rich people's lists, little black books. No. This is the important issue of our time. And they're also criticising the BBC. Some people are saying that they should have cut away from the live broadcast of the performance, during which Bobby Vylan, his real name is Pascal Robinson Foster, by the way, led the chant, which lasted, I mean, I've seen the clip a ton of times now. I'll say it maybe lasted about 6 or 7 seconds, if that. It wasn't exactly an anthemic, epic chant by any means. It was something that he did in between songs whilst he had a backdrop in support of Palestine. Long story short, people, the critics, the politicians, the mainstream media, your Lawrence Foxes, whoever else is going to come out and jump all over this, don't seem to be aware of something that I am, and I'm sure that you are as well. And that is the difference between a soldier, a civilian, a religion, and a state. So you've got to throw that into the mix now, of course, with the ASBS. So normally you have to explain the difference between a state and a religion. Now it's the difference between a state, a religion, and a soldier. They mentioned what Nandi said. I've got the clip of that, so I'll get into that in just a moment. Skim through. Like I said yesterday, I feel a little disappointed that it just says the organisers still. It hasn't said if it's Emily Evis, Michael Evis, or whoever it is, but having previously backed Kneecap, they've now said that they're appalled by Bob Vylan's comments, which crossed a line. It's not just this criminal investigation, there's other stuff going on as well. As I said yesterday, the ticket website omission now. But Bobby Vylan has said that politicians should be utterly ashamed about where their allegiances lie. First it was Kneecap, now it's us too. Regardless of how it was said, calling for an end to the slaughter of innocents is never wrong. To civilians of Israel, Understand this anger is not directed at you, and don't let your government persuade you that a call against an army is a call against its people. To Kia, to Kemi, and the rest of you, I'll get you at a later date. Yeah, this is... again, it's going to be counterproductive from the critic's point of view, just like what happened with Kneecap. God knows how many hits this band is getting now because of this. The same with Kneecap. And I don't... certainly, anyone who was a supporter of theirs, and the message as well, of course, won't be swayed by this. They're certainly not going to sway anyone's opinion. But they feel obliged to. It's incumbent of them to do so because the pockets are lined with lobbyist money. Dirty lobbyist money. And we're not just talking about a free lunch and a couple of drinks at a meet and greets. We're talking about amounts that escalate into the tens and hundreds of thousands of pounds, perhaps into the millions. You've got APAC in the States. You've got LFI over here. I'm sure you've all seen the video, the undercover video that was taken. It was part of the Labour Files documentary, the Al Jazeera documentary. And they were pretending that they were going to be offering the party £2 million on behalf of Israeli lobbying interests. And there weren't any questions raised. It was just yeah, you know, step into my office kind of thing. These are the kinds of money, amounts of money that are being exchanged. People. Sick. And it's not just bribery as well. There's all kinds of nefarious tactics going on, probably including a fair bit of blackmail as well. Just see where we'll go to next. I think we'll check out the agency. So they're represented by an artists agency who have dropped them. You might have, that was the bit in the opening clip, the Rick Mail television destruction clip. So this is just that again. But without the TV destruction.
Well, let's return to that breaking news that Sky News understands the rap duo Bob Vylan has been dropped by the United Talent.
They're a punk rock group, madam. They're a punk rock group, not a rap duo. That's Kneecap. Kneecap, well, they're a trio. Get with it. Get with it.
Agency. It comes after the BBC expressed regret at not pulling the live stream of the rap duo's performance during the Glastonbury Festival. The corporation said anti-Semitic sentiments expressed by the group were utterly unacceptable.
What? No. Absolutely not. What? What sentiments?
What?
What sentiments?
During the Glastonbury Festival, the corporation said anti-Semitic sentiments expressed by the group were utterly unacceptable.
Oh, what a giveaway. Did you hear that? Did you hear that, eh? That's what I'm on about.
Now, very reaching, apparently, Sky News. For all of the money that they have behind them, let's remind ourselves this is part of the massive Murdoch empire, of course. Apparently, the researchers, the journalists, the amount of professionals that they have, and some of them went to the, top universities in this country, seemingly don't know the difference between an army and a religion. Or they have interest to distort the truth. I won't use that phrase, even distort the truth. No, it's an outright fucking lie. I'll just say it plain and simple like it is. No sale. That dog does not hunt. Pull the other one. So I dropped by the agency. I'm sure maybe a better, more resilient agency will pick them up. Fingers crossed. But there is something else that came up about the agency. I don't have the tweet, because this is unconfirmed. I just want to be clear before I get into this. Apparently, one of the partners of the artist agency, I've forgotten the name of them, but one of the partners is apparently, well, he was on the front of Zionist magazine. If you want to put that bluntly, but I'm not sure if that's authentic. That's not been confirmed, so I didn't want to pull that up on the stream. I'll get back to you about that one. There's more though. They've also had their US visas revoked, so that will prevent them from performing in the States. Let's take a look at this, people. And even Trump's got on it. Hateful tirade. What's tirade? What, 6 or 7 seconds? I'll just, he chanted it and the crowd repeated it 3 times, I think. So yeah, you're talking about, alright, 10 seconds tops. That's not a tirade. So yeah, it's obviously over the top. It's really cringy the way that they're all coming out for the band. And Lisa Nandy, Culture Secretary, has got on it as well. Not been on a good run recently after how her comments about Kneecap backfired. You'd have thought she'd have maybe wanted to keep her ill-informed mouth shut, but no. Again, she's paid up, so she's got to perform. What do you think? Israel's a charity? Oh no.
Something particularly pernicious about chanting death, death to the IDF. Many colleagues will know that in Israel...
By the way, I will bet you that chant will be sampled with a big dance beat behind it and be in some massive song that'll go viral probably within weeks. There's no doubt about it. Someone's going to turn that into a song. They might mix a bit of Kneecap in there, or am I just literally giving ideas away for free here? Should have kept my mouth shut. Damn it. Could have been sat on a fortune. Right, well, that's the end of the stream. And yeah, time on YouTube. I'll see you later. Bother. Jesus Christ. No, I'm only joking. Right, yeah, Nandi. Seriously though, keep them peeled.
There is a conscription model. Every young person is required to serve in the IDF, which means that chanting death to the IDF is equivalent to calling for the death of every single Israeli Jew.
What?
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 Because they have conscription?
Israel, there is a conscription model. Every young person is required.
Look at this guy nodding along. Look at this. Oh. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yes, this isn't pure lunacy that I'm bearing witness to at this very moment. Oh, these are the adults now. This is the grown-ups in the room in charge. Once again. Of course. That's clearly what he said. That's clearly what Bobby Vylan said.
Required to serve in the IDF, which means that chanting death to the IDF is equivalent to calling for the death of every single Israeli Jew.
Alright. Don't make me go there again. Yesterday, I made comparisons. Obviously, if you go out to a punk gig, whatever, you'll hear a lot of chanting like that. It'll, you know, fuck this member of the government, fuck the government, fuck Nazis, death to Nazis, that sort of thing. They say it all the fucking time. Pardon the French, but it's a bit necessary for this part of what I'm on about. So again, if they're saying fuck Nazis, that doesn't mean fuck every living German citizen, does it? Or fuck every German citizen that was alive during World War II. So they can get out of town with that bollocks. Doesn't wash, again. No sale. No sale. And all the people nodding along there, that's pure sycophancy.
Every young person is required to serve in the IDF.
I think what is the most insulting part about all of this, not just to the intelligence, but they perhaps genuinely think that we emulate these people, we look up to them, we'll take their word as gospel, and whatever horse shit they want to shovel up, we'll nod along to. Oh yes, and then it's somehow legitimate. They're completely out of touch with reality, they're completely out of touch with the public, they're completely out of touch with global support and solidarity for Palestine at the moment, and the recognition of what the IDF are doing, which is the real issue. And if they were as appalled about that as they are a 10-second chant at a pissing music festival, for fuck's sake, then we'd be able to sort this issue out a hell of a lot quicker. And bring the IDF and Netanyahu and Gallant and all the rest of them to account. So sort your priorities out, Lisa.
Which means that chanting death to the IDF is equivalent to calling for the death of every single Israeli Jew. That is why, one of the many reasons why we take this so seriously, and why it...
No one going to make a point of order there. Nobody. Nobody going to make a point of order. Nobody going to speak for the truth. Is the speaker going to intervene here? No. It's that's the type of speaker that Lindsay Hoyle is. He's the lapdog. He's the incontinent lapdog that jumps up all over the guests when they arrive. And yeah, that's just all he is.
Cannot be argued that this did not cross a very dangerous line.
This rhetoric is crossing a dangerous line, especially where free speech and artistic expression is concerned. The same goes for Kneecap, as well as Bob Vylan. That's the dangerous line that's being crossed, as far as I'm concerned. This dystopian, Orwellian approach to reality really isn't sitting very well with me at the moment. That's the true worry, is that they don't want you to be able to believe your own eyes and ears. When you see the horrors of what's happening in Gaza, yeah, I was just reminded there about two things I saw recently. Not commented much on that video that was going around about the kid that was picked up and hit to the ground, which made me physically sick, to be honest. But also something else recently, and again, this is the priority. Lisa, Nandi, everybody else. The vehicle that Hindu Rajab was in, the poor 6-year-old girl. And there are over 300 bullet holes on that vehicle, and they're all numbered. It's the actual vehicle that she was found in, and it was awful because she was on the phone moments before it happened and was saying how scared she felt and other things, and that vehicle alone says a lot about what's happening in Gaza. So I don't give a fuck what Bob Vylan says. I don't give a fuck what Nick. I'm not appalled by any of this. I mean, I do give a fuck in the sense that I support free speech. I support them speaking out in support of Gaza, in support of Palestine. But I certainly don't care in the sense that Lisa Nandi is trying to think that I should care. Please don't insult my intelligence, Lisa. And if you're watching this from Wigan, which is in Lancashire, that's the county neighbouring ours, whatever you do, don't fucking vote for her at the next general election. But there is one politician out there, at least, who's talking sense on the matter. I'm sure that a few are. Corbyn and Zara Sultana and the like. But Zach Polanski was on LBC, and this is what he had to say, which I think was, again, a very sensible reaction. Not the hyperbolic bullshit that we heard there from Nandi. Of course, Zach Polanski's in the leadership race for the Green Party that's coming up. He's considerably in the lead against Adrian Ramsey and Ellie Chowns at the moment.
I just got back from Glastonbury, so I was there.
You were there. Were you waving a flag?
I was waving lots of flags, but actually I think Glastonbury is not the story here. I think genocide is the story. And we have a British government that are not just complicit, but active participants through the selling of arms, sharing of intelligence, and the fact that they will not condemn Israel's attack on Iran, and indeed the US's attack on Iran. I want Keir Starmer to step up, and I think that has to be the story here.
Well, you heard what Bob Vylan said on stage about kill the IDF. Do you support that? Do you think we should be objecting to that?
I wouldn't ever support anyone saying kill something or someone.
Zach has to be, as a politician, diplomatic here. Obviously, he can't use that kind of language, so he can't say, yes, I would. He has to be very clear about that. But what he's pointing out, again, about the priorities, and also what happened recently with Iran, because now this is the new thing. Forget about that thing. Forget about the latest illegal attacks. Oh, this is the bad person here. This is the new baddie.
But I also still think condemnations.
I'm talking about, you know, the way that they're talking about Bob Vylan. I'm not referring to Zach Polanski, though, just to be very clear. He's not a baddie, as far as I know.
Seems a little bit hypocritical when we're not condemning, or not enough people are condemning, the British government. I think a British government that have access to arms and are literally involved with the killing of people in terms of what those arms are being used for is a lot more serious than an artist standing on stage shouting something that I think at best you could find objectionable, but it's in no way. I just got back.
yeah, it's in no way comparable, as he said. Look, if so many people are calling for a full embargo from the UK, full trade embargo, sanctions, and all, can they not read the room? They really can't read the room. The government, the Tories as well. They're just so detached from reality. But Zach does know where it's at. He's not afraid to speak the truth, and you know, I'm sure that he knows. If he does have success, then there'll be pushback against him as well. You know, the same way they did it to Corbyn. They're using the same dirty tactics now against Sohan Madrani, the Democratic candidate in the New York election. Oh, by the way, just a quick correction on that. I mistakenly referred to him, I think, as a social democrat when I was talking about that story recently. He's in fact Democratic Socialist, of course. So, yeah, his politics is not comparable to that of the Lib Dems here in the UK. Would be, of course, an old-fashioned Labour MP. I guess that's the best that you could equate it. And they're going after him. Because that's the only tactic that they've got, really. So well said, Zach. Okay, that would have disappeared by now. Just one moment.
I just got back.
Yeah. That's still on your screens, isn't it? It's still on mine. It shouldn't be. I'm just going to have to delete the fucking thing. But it's still there. It's impossible. What's going on? I don't think it's... I hope it's not crashed. Oh, we're good, I think. Okay. Just bear with me a moment, people. I need a bit of feedback if you can help me out. So where I paused that last video, is it still on the screen or not? I just need to know what you can see on the screen at the moment, because that clip was still frozen on the screen even after I deleted the clip itself, actually. But now it's just a black screen and there's no logo, there's no chat. Quite odd. So it's still, yeah, that's what it says on the on YouTube Studio, but on the broadcast software I've just got blank, just move to a different scene. Right, that's really strange. Right, I don't think I've got another choice. at this moment. Bear with people. I'm going to reload the broadcast software. You're going to see the sort of circle of death for a few seconds, but don't worry, I will be right back. The background music will cut out as well. Yeah, stay put. I've just got to refresh the reload the broadcast software. Yeah, well, if this works, just give the chimps, I don't know, a few extra banana, whatever they're into. Just give them a bit more. I think we're on. Yeah, well done to the technical chimps. Thanks for your patience on that brief technical difficulty.
As you can see, we're experiencing a minor technical difficulty here on My Left Eye. Our team of expertly trained technicians are working busily to restore the stream. In the meantime, please make sure that you've hit the thumbs up button harder than you'd like to hit Keir Starmer in the Ghoulies, and left a comment down below. Thank you.
We're back. Where was I? Yes, we were just finishing off talking about Bob Vylan there, weren't we? Yeah. So I've got a clip lined up from a gig that he did November 2023 it was. And he's calling out other bands, these so-called political bands, for being quiet about Gaza, for staying silent on Palestine as an issue. And I thought that was definitely worth a share. So I'm not sure who the original uploader was from this. Apologies, it's been shared around quite a bit. But yeah, just be clear, I wasn't there, this isn't my footage. But this is Bob Vylan from back in 23.
News. It's not just local, it is world fucking news, and we are watching fucking babies being burned. We are watching babies, fucking children, being pulled from the rubble of fucking buildings that have been absolutely leveled after spending days under that. How the fuck can you call yourself a political left-wing band if you are not fucking speaking up to people that have no voice at the moment? It's a cowardly fucking thing. So fuck idols, fuck Sleaford mods, and fuck every single one of those fucking apolitical bands that don't want to fucking speak up when there's something a little bit iffy, a little bit touchy, a little bit sensitive, and you've got a fucking bullshit album to sell. Fuck that. We can't fucking respect that at all. Fuck 'em. This is the prettiest song we've ever fucking written. Because Bob Vylan would rather fucking fight, you fucking cowardly bands. I could do this all day long. Sing a song, a pretty little song. Blah, 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 blah. It might be nice. I could do this all day long.
Yeah, well said. Well said.
Damn right!
And this is what he's talking about, people. This is what's happening right now, today. Let's see what's happening. 20 people have been killed in an attack on the seafront in Gaza. or at least 20. Dozens were wounded from Al-Bakar cafeteria. That's an outdoor venue which consisted of tents along the beach. Yeah, they do like to hit tents, don't they? I'm surprised they weren't on the way to fucking Glastonbury. Emergency crews are still searching through a deep crater left by the explosion. I'm assuming Israel will say that this cafeteria was, you know, say it with me people, Hummus Command and Control Centre. But there has been no immediate comment from the military. It came out after a wave of airstrikes across the Gaza Strip overnight, which triggered the mass displacement of hundreds of Palestinian families. So that'll be thousands of people. That's the area where it is. Unfortunately, Donald Trump seems optimistic about a ceasefire, which ultimately makes me very pessimistic. But we will see. Keep you up to speed on that. And of course, these ongoing shootings at so-called aid distribution sites. Like I said yesterday, it's just a lure, it's just bait to be able to, for the IDF, to shoot into crowds of people. It's quite repugnant. Videos posted by activists on social media captured scenes of chaos and explosions illuminating the night sky, followed by flames and thick plumes of smoke rising above the skyline. That was in the eastern neighbourhoods. Explosions never stopped, it felt like earthquakes, said Salah, 60, from Gaza City, to Reuters. Ruth Guthrie, thank you very much for the super chat. Do appreciate that. I'll give that some love and appreciation right now. Shout out to Ruth in the chat, everybody, if you please. Solidari-Tea. Look at that. You know, these weapons that can destroy a home. You can't imagine going back and just seeing that and picking up, if anything, what few bits and pieces are left, and then where do you go? You don't jump on a plane to Cyprus like Israelis do at the first sign of trouble, head back to Europe, head back to the United States. No, that's your only home. And then they're forced to march along with hundreds of thousands of other people in between safe zones that aren't safe, forced into refugee camps that are targeted yet again as they carry their belongings on the back or sometimes in a bag. And that's before you get onto how many members of the family might have been killed in that attack. It's beyond comprehension, it is beyond reprehension. It's a whole new level of evil that shouldn't exist in the 21st century by rights. We've got Politics Clive in the house as well. Graham Turner, great to see you. Let's just see if we've got any other newcomers. Great to see you coming in. I think we had some sort of troll briefly for a moment there, but yeah. Have they gone? Don't forget to vote in the poll, by the way. Whether you think Rachel Reeves will still be Chancellor at the next election. Say you aye or nay, and out within the next 12 months. Just briefly back to the article. Look at this from people who were there, like I said. Abia Talba, a mother of 7 who fled Zaitoun with her family, said we had no choice but to leave everything behind. We got phone calls recordings in Arabic telling us we were in a combat zone and must evacuate immediately. This is the 7th time we've been forced to flee. And she added, we're in the streets again, no food, no water, my children are starving, death feels kinder than this. These are some of the most resilient people you'll ever find. And there's the mandatory paragraph in a bit. Still don't see the Hannibal Directive in there, or the mention of 1948 in the Balfour Declaration or the Nakba. Never mind. Let's be very selective about our history, shall we? BBC. That's BBC. Do you BBC what I did there? Moving swiftly on. Just making sure that chat's updated. I was lagging slightly. Clive, you Bibby saw. Nicola, thank you very much for the super chat as well. Awesome stuff. Love and solidarity coming your way. Solidari-Tea, I should say. Thank you very much for that support. Solidarity with all the sensible and caring people on this channel. Thank you for your caring and sharing. Yeah, nice message there. Appreciate that. Just back to domestic political matters now. The internal rebellion, or apparent internal rebellion over welfare cuts. Kendall and Starmer have tried to appeal to the rebels, tried to appease them. So a few things have come in. For example, the changes won't affect current claimants, only new claimants. Of course, there's a few catches with things like that. For example, some people who are claiming at the moment, unfortunately, their conditions will have deteriorated. They'll be reclaiming for a different assessment, therefore, because their needs, mobility, etc. May have changed, and then they'll be subject to the new cuts. Things like that. Of course, remember people, I think Kev pointed this out on the stream that we raided into last night. You never know when you might, a lot of people are dismissive about this issue because it doesn't concern them, because they don't claim PIPs or whatever. But if you get seriously ill, which can happen at short notice, you never know what's around the corner, then it will be a concern, and it should be a concern, as well as it's just outright appalling that they're not taxing the rich, they're going for the disabled again, they're going for the vulnerable, they go for the poor. We know the score by now, people. So let's see what else they've thrown on the table. The neo-lib way, as always, will be take three things out of one hand, put one thing back into the other, or a fraction of one thing. Most of the rebellions come from the back benches, including Megan Abrams threatened to block the Universal Credit and Personal Independence Payments Bill. Minister had hoped concessions made last week had reassured MPs, although around 50 Labour MPs are still expected to oppose the bill on Tuesday, when the initial vote will take place. So that means some 70 odd have backed out. That's very soft. I've got to say that's very soft that they've capitulated at the first turn, I guess, if you want to put it that way. They've just accepted Labour's first offer. But no, they should hold strong. They should be steadfast in their resolve. And they should say, no, this just completely cannot happen. We're not having a few crumbs thrown on the table and we're going to be satisfied. Even the amendments are going to mean that a lot of people are going to suffer. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of people here. So yeah, it's important. It's a seriously important issue. And I want to take this opportunity to share solidarity with organisations such as DPAC, who do tremendous work in speaking out about this and other austerity measures that have taken place not just under this Labour government but under the previous Tory government that still exist and are either going to be perpetuated or made worse by this latest Thatcherite mob that we've got in at the moment. You can't see this because I've got the image slightly cropped, but just Rod Stewart on a link to another article on the right just popped up, and that immediately made me think of Enoch Powell while I was talking about Thatcher. I don't think that was a coincidence. Maybe that was the universe trying to... That's... Oh yes, it was Brooder. It was Brooder. Yeah, we were just throwing a few names around for anyone who doesn't know what I'm on about, for what to call this tea-based community. And Broodism was one of the suggestions that I find myself leaning towards slightly. Maybe that was Brooder making the connection. Of course, it all makes sense. I'm going to scroll a large a large conspiratorial map with various connecting lines on the wall immediately. Phil, I know it's a bit late, but would you mind going out and getting some tin foil? That would help. Great stuff. We'll get on that later. Back to this crap though. I'll just finish off. Earlier in the day, the government produced a new modelling estimate that around 150,000 people would be pushed into poverty by 2030 as a result of the welfare cuts. And as if they're trying to show off, that's still lower than the 250,000 predicted before the government's U-turn. Oh, aren't we great? That's what would the, you know, we've saved 100,000 people, haven't we? What, because you're only going to throw 150,000 people under the bus, not 250,000 people? Oh yeah, what a bunch of saints. Downing Street spokesman said the modelling doesn't reflect the full picture and was subject to uncertainty. Not really worth making that statement though. So I'll keep you posted with that vote that's taking place later in the week. For what it's worth mentioning, I'd imagine the entirety of what's left of the Tory party in Parliament will be voting against that. 50 MPs I don't think would cut it, not with the loveless landslide majority that Starmer has at the moment. Once you get into the hundreds, then you're talking. I could throw a few names out there who would definitely probably still be amongst those voting against, I'd imagine. Diane Abbott, Clive Lewis, for example, they're still unsuspended members. Don Butler, perhaps, as well. Richard Bergen, who's still... Is Dickie Bergen suspended? It's difficult to keep up at this point. Well, he can't suspend them all, can he? He was okay picking on single-digit MPs. Jeremy Corbyn, Zara Sultana, to name but two. But he won't do the same. Rod Stewart is exiled from Scotland forever. Fair enough. Got quite the Cockney accent for a Scots, doesn't he? Yes, Clive. Labour have had it. It's over. No, as a political vehicle, yeah, completely broken. There's nothing left. What can you say? Well, I'll say, I'll be back in just one moment, people. Going to top up my drink. Got to stay hydrated on this warm evening. Just be one moment. I'll be right back with you. Have a chat amongst yourselves. Just got one out of the freezer that I prepared earlier. Very nice. Right, where we at? Where we're up to, people? Getting hot in those rhinos. Oh, Ace Ventura 2? Is that the reference? Maybe? Still 26 and I don't know. It's got to be mid-20s here. Sorry, Clive, for interrupting your story about a guy who turned his bin into a swimming pool. I think I did see a video for that. So. Oh, I'd use the term swimming pool in the broadest sense. But yes, I'm back, and make sure that you've hit the thumbs up button on the stream. Whilst I'm at it, give us a share around your social media. Give us a follow at MyLeftI UK on Blue Sky. On Twitter and Mastodon as well. I wanted to do a reminder of a plug I did yesterday. I'm probably going to do this on every live stream this week, and why the hell not? So it's London this coming Saturday the 5th of July. You can assemble with Camden Friends of Palestine, Mornington Crescents, NW1 2JA, and that's going to be marching on Starmer's turf to say that there's no seat for genocide enablers. So that's Camden Friends of Palestine if you're around London this Saturday the 5th of July. Just want to give that plug again on behalf of my good friend the Revolting Hippie. Solidari-Tea if you're watching. Yeah, that's one of my friends as well from JSO. Speaking of which, another sort of plug, I guess. Another friend of mine who unfortunately is currently or has been subjected to prison a few times. But there was a great 30-minute documentary about my friend Louise on Radio 4 today, which I'd highly recommend you check out. This is, sorry, a different Louise from Louise Harris, who had the single out a few years ago that got into the Christmas top 5. I think he got to number 4. But this is a different one, although part of the charges against Louise, who's in the documentary, were for conspiring public disruption for the M25 gantry action. So if you want to check that out, sorry about that. If you do want to check that out, oh no, it's a good documentary. It's not crickets, but you can take a look at that. It was on at 4 PM today, so that's on BBC Sounds, Crossing the Line, and that's Lou in the middle of the picture, you can see there. And yeah, I've been a guest speaker on some of Louise's talks, doing science and social science, things like that. She's a wonderful person, wonderful activist. I think her story's definitely worth hearing. So it's a 30-minute documentary, but I definitely recommend that. I nearly gave a spoiler away for anyone who doesn't know Lou's story, so I'll just let you listen to that one for yourselves. But if you're listening, Lou, love and solidarity. obviously we should be imprisoning the polluting billionaires and not the people fighting for a livable future. There was a Defend Our Juries demonstration as well today for the Filton 18 as well. I just want to give a shout out for that as well. And also, obviously, solidarity with Palestine Action. I guess it's still technically okay to say that, you know. But I'm a bit of a rebel myself, of course. So I'm just scrolling through the chat. You vote that England should vote to be an independent country, Ruth? I don't think the establishment would go for that one. Oh yes, going out to the party. Right, people. Just time for another quick shout out to the members on the channel. Thanks for your ongoing support, everybody. There's lots of ways that you can support the channel. If you're watching back later on, of course, super thanks are open and there's a Buy Me a Coffee page in the channel description and the description of this stream if you want to check that out. The preferred way though, preferred method is with gifted memberships. Yeah, thank you very much everyone. It's been great to add some new names to the list. This one's hot off the press. Thank you once again everyone. Just bring you back up onto the screen. Yeah, Ruth, they never say why, but we know why it is, really. They just want to leech off other countries, really. That's what it is at the end of the day. That reminds me, apparently, Edinburgh, in terms of GDP per head, has now overtaken London. Did you know that? For GDP per head, so all the stuff about Scotland not being able to govern itself. Yeah, That's BS, and that's what they don't want to talk about. That's what they never say. Okay, people, stick around. I'm coming towards the end of the stream. I'm scouting for a raid. Let's see who we have. Cool, we got Kev live again. So I will go into Kevin Logan. Yeah, in just a few moments. Stick around for that, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining me on tonight's stream. Yeah, sorry if I've been a bit slow here and there. It's absolutely stifling in here. So I'm going to get refreshed and everything, but I will be on Kev's stream for a little while. I'll be jumping over with you. People, join me there, whatever you're doing with the rest of your evening though, or if you're watching back later on. Take care, and I will be seeing you soon. Free Palestine, power to the people.